Hello there, World of Tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm of course your host, the Droodles Blitz, and in today's video we are going to be taking a look at Refined Gun. What are the actual advantages of it? Because a lot of people will be like, makes your dispersion better, but they don't know how much it actually makes it better until today. We are going to be showing real examples of your aiming circle getting smaller with Refined Gun, how much of an advantage or disadvantage it will give you on the battlefield. Now, Refined Gun is the last combat power equipment you can run in the game. You either have the choice of vertical stabilizers or Refined Gun. Now, Refined gives you a 10% better dispersion value at 100 meters, and vertical stabilizers gives you better on movement dispersion. So personally for me, I like running STABS on the 60 TP, down to the fact that this tank is incredibly inaccurate on the move. And sure, Refined Gun makes the gun a bit more accurate in general, but it doesn't make your aiming time better, and you don't really get to aim in fully with a tank like the 60 TP, so the advantages of Refined Gun are quite mitigated. But you might still wonder how much of a difference Refined Gun makes to vertical stabilizers. So we're going to be doing two different tests in today's video. The first test is we're going to aim fully in at the same distance on the same map, being Himmelsdorf, because it's a perfectly flat map. So we're just going to aim in fully and see the difference in aiming circle size from STABS to Refined Gun with the 60 TP. Because this is such an inaccurate vehicle, this should be one of the largest disparities when running Refined Gun and running STABS. But then what we're also going to do is drive full speed and then instantly stop and put up a timer and see how much longer it takes you to aim in when you're using Refined Gun compared to vertical stabilizers. So the first thing we're going to do is find an object to aim at, and honestly I think that these little crates or these little tubes back here will be perfect. So we're going to get 200 meters away exactly on the dot from this singular canister. And there you go, 200 meters away. So that is the size of our aiming circle. I'm going to aim right on this line and directly in the middle. I'm going to take a picture of that, and I'm going to go put that in Adobe Illustrator. Now, we're going to do the exact same thing at the same spot, 200 meters away, but this time we're going to be running vertical stabilizers. And we're going to see the actual difference there is between STABS and Refined Gun. So here we go. Let's get back into that battle and go to the exact same spot. This should be a pretty simple test. I mean, even if we're not perfectly aligned, it should be the exact same distance away. So in theory, the aiming reticle should be the exact same spot. So what we're going to do is, again, drive 200 meters on the dot away from that tube. Here we go. Speed. All right, let's aim in. That's 250, 40. Come on, keep on going. And just back up a little bit, and perfect. 220 meters away. Aim in directly on the barrel. My mouse is a little finicky. There you go. That looks to be just about the exact same spot. Take your screenshot of that, and I'm going to put it in Illustrator. I'm just going to quickly combine these pictures, and we're going to see the actual difference between Refined Gun and vertical stabilizers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got both pictures in front of us, the one on the right being Refined Gun, the one on the left being vertical stabilizers. And all we're going to do is we're going to cut out the aiming circle from Refined Gun and drag it right in the center of the one using STABS. And there you go. That is a visual difference on the aiming circle size you would have using STABS versus Refined Gun. Now, you do need to realize that while this aiming circle actually is a pretty big difference in size, you still need to fully aim in to actually get that slight advantage. So now what we're going to do is compare the aiming time, and we're going to see what is actually better. Would you rather get the aiming time or that difference in the size? The next test is fairly simple. We're going to drive straight down the Himmelsdorf flat, and we're going to get up to top speed in our 60 TP, and then we're going to suddenly stop the tank and see how long it takes to aim in compared to when using Refined Gun. So here we go, full speed. We're almost up to 40. Once we reach 40, we're up to top, so I'm just going to wait for it to be a flat 40, and here we go, stop. All right, so once that stops aiming in, that is... Oh, wow, that took a lot longer than I thought it was going to, but there you go. That was using Refined Gun. So now we're going to do the exact same test using, obviously, STABS. It took a total of 4.4 seconds for the 60 TP using Refined Gun to fully aim in after the sudden stop, and it took a total of 3.6 seconds for the 60 TP with STABS to fully aim in. That is a really, really big difference. Almost a full second. It's 0.8 0.8. That is massive. Now here's the weird part about vertical stabilizers. Aiming time is not the main buff of it. It's actually the on-movement dispersion. Aiming time is just something that is caused from your on-movement dispersion buff. You actually gain two advantages with V-STABS. Refined Gun, as we went over, just makes your tank more accurate when you're fully aimed in. But the thing about V-STABS is that it makes your accuracy 15% better when full speed. Now what that means is that your aiming circle is 15% smaller than it is when using Refined Gun when driving this tank on full speed. So not only do you have a much higher chance of snapping shells into enemy opponents, but even better yet, the reason your aiming time is better is down to the fact that your aiming circle is 15% smaller when you start aiming in compared to what it would be with Refined Gun. So it's kind of weird how V-STABS works, but it makes a lot of sense once you understand it, and that is why it is so influential on the battlefield. Now I do want to point out that not every tank in my garage is running V-STABS. In fact, I would say a couple of my tier 10 heavies are running Refined Gun. So I'm just going to showcase my heavies in my garage, which ones are running Refined and which ones are running V-STABS. Now you can easily tell by which one because V-STABS is on the left and Refined is on the right, and you can see it down at the bottom. So for my Yo, I am running V-STABS, VK72, V-STABS, IS7, V-STABS, 113, V-STABS 60 TP, you already know, E6, vertical stabilizers, but the concept, I am running Refined Gun. Now you might be asking, why are you running Refined Gun on the concept? We just went over all the advantages V-STABS has, and the main reason why is down to the fact that the concept has a very, very good on-movement dispersion value. If your tank already has really good on-movement dispersion values, there's no point on making it just a bit better when you can not only have really good on-movement dispersion, but as well, really solid aiming time and accuracy. So that is why I'm running Refined Gun on my Concept 1B. If you want to see overall on-movement dispersion values, I would highly suggest to check out Blitz Hanger. They have all the values listed for you, and you can compare them to other tier 10 heavies. The T57 heavy, I'm running V-STABS, as you can see, E5, V-STABS, Mouse, V-STABS, VK90, V-STABS, E100, V-STABS, 260, another very accurate on-move heavy tank, so I'm running Refined Gun. The IS4, I'm running V-STABS, Chieftain Mark 6, V-STABS, FE2 and 5B, V-STABS, Super Conk. This tank, believe it or not, has the best on-movement dispersion in tier 10 for a heavy, so it's fairly common sense to why I'm running Refined Gun on it. When it comes to the 5A, V-STABS, AMX50B, V-STABS, AMX M4, and the Krandong, both using vertical stabilizers. So as you can see, only about 4 of my tier 10 heavies out of, how many do we have? 21 are running Refined. I would highly suggest to run V-STABS on almost any tank you play. Even when it comes to medium tanks, only 2 out of the 15 in tier 10 I'm running Refined Gun on, and those 2 are the Object 140 and the TVP. Every other tank, the Progetto, 121B, WZ121, STB1, FE4202, we got the T22, E50, M48 Patton, M60, 30B, 62A, and the Leopard 1, all of them are running vertical stabilizers. Now you might be asking, why? Aren't mediums really accurate on move? Shouldn't you be running Refined Gun? And the real answer is, first of all, I want to snap shells on movement because mediums are really supposed to be accurate on the move. So I want to have better aiming time while on move because you're driving a lot of the time in medium tanks. And the second reason is because you already have a lot of accuracy in mediums as it is. A vehicle like the Leopard 1 is sitting at 0.272 accuracy. So why do you need to make it better if it's already incredibly accurate? And that's the case for most of the tier 10 mediums, is that they're so accurate already, what's the point on making them even more accurate? So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to see more like it, let me know in the comments down below. And hopefully this helps you understand why Refined Gun is really just worse in almost every situation, apart from a couple tanks here and there, compared to V-STABS. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you learned something, which I'm guessing you did, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. Bye-bye.